Why am I so desperately alone? Hello, and welcome to another episode of Dead Ends Global Politics, where each week I'll be bringing you lessons aligned directly with the Unit 3 and 4 Global Politics study design to ensure that you have the best chance of success in the exam and in life. This lesson will continue with Unit 3 Area of Study 1, focusing on global actors, by concluding our examination of the state and challenges to its sovereignty with an examination of the final of the 3 challenges to state sovereignty you need to know, issues that require multilateral resolution. Alright, so the final challenge to state sovereignty you need to understand are issues requiring multilateral resolution. You may be thinking to yourself, what's multilateralism? What's the meaning of life? Where's my dad? He just said he was going for cigarettes 4 years ago. Well, I can answer one of those questions. Multilateralism is a system of coordinating efforts between 3 or more states, usually in the pursuit of a common objective. There are a whole range of problems which challenge many or all states on Earth, and those problems can't really be solved by just one state alone. Issues requiring multilateral resolution theoretically challenge state sovereignty because they require states to often sign up to treaties or agreements which they then agree to implement into the domestic policies back at home. This means changing their laws to match up with the requirements of the agreement or the treaty. Also, these agreements are often sealed with a symbolic gesture which takes the notion of the awkward handshake to a whole new level. Climate change is probably the most important issue requiring multilateral resolution that our planet has ever faced. In a nutshell, current projections have global temperatures set to rise by 10 degrees by the end of the century. Such changes will seriously strain the planet's ability to produce food and its water security, destroy ecosystems, and wreak absolute havoc on our health and our habitat. So, in response to climate change, since 1992, states have been trying to come together each year and construct a multilateral approach to combating and resolving the issue. Basically, representatives of states meet at conferences organized by the United Nations each year in different cities around the world. The most important part of these conferences is whether states can set binding emissions targets which would stabilize climate change at a level that isn't catastrophic, 2 degrees. What's usually happened is states have either not set targets, set voluntary targets which have then missed, or reneged on targets later on. Australia is one of the worst offenders here, because states have seen the national interest of economic growth as more important and in conflict with environmental conservation. Because bizarrely, politicians, and especially in Australia, haven't realised that economic growth can go together hand in hand with environmental protection. However, the 2015 climate change conference in Paris did seem to yield some hope. States did commit to begin immediately reducing their carbon emissions and doing their best to keep global warming beneath 2 degrees. Wait. If you read the fine print of the agreement, while the rhetoric does sound nice, it doesn't have an enforcement mechanism, which basically means big polluters need to reduce their carbon emissions voluntarily. Because we've all seen how well states keep their commitments when they have to do so voluntarily. We're doomed. So what's the takeaway? Well, issues requiring multilateral resolution can challenge sovereignty because states may make decisions that go against their immediate national interests to help achieve the multilateral goal. However, states tend to put their national interests first, and if there's no enforcement mechanism and no immediate short-term incentive for multilateral action, states are unlikely to alter their pursuit of individual national interests or compromise their sovereign decision-making power. And the world is f***ed.